This is the diary that I wrote during a wilderness Christmas in 1992. We had a little cabin in the mountains of North Idaho, and we spent as much time there as we could, and we loved it. December 24th, we pack our truck with 10 days worth of food and clothing and head for the wilderness. There are those whose eyes glaze over when we talk about the joy of owning 40 acres of wilderness that are surrounded by many hundreds of acres of Forest Service land. But 10 days in this place will be spiritual rejuvenation for Dave and me. We drive about 100 miles north from Spokane, Washington, onto a Forest Service road as far as it is plowed. Plowing stops about 6 miles from our cabin, and that is where dear friends have brought our snowmobile and sled out to meet us. After loading the sled, we head into the woods. I ride on the back of the sled, standing up like the driver of a dog team. The sun is just setting, and the trees are heavy laden with snow. I get to watch the beautiful wilderness as it changes from daylight to dusk to almost dark. The beauty of the ride is breathtaking. I keep watching for moose, as there are moose tracks all over the place, but we don't meet any. When we reach the cabin, we restart the fire, which Marilyn had started earlier in the day. Dave pumps water from the creek into our storage tank in the loft, and we settle to enjoy some Christmas carols on the radio while the cabin warms up.
Christmas Day. We awaken, restart the wood stove, and eat breakfast. Bonnie and I each brought stocking stuffers for the other, and we enjoyed opening them. At 3 p.m., 4 friends arrived by snowmobile for dinner. As we are enjoying a glass of wine, we notice that the sun has peeked out from the heavy gray skies and is shedding a bright pink glow onto Strawberry Mountain. It is magnificent, a lovely Christmas surprise. Instead of grace before dinner, I offer a toast. Christmas is a time when something totally new and totally different comes into the world. It is my wish for each of you that something totally new and different enters your life. I'm still on. The first thing I see upon waking is the skylight above our bed. It has snowed and continued to snow all day long, probably 8 new inches. Snowed and continued. There is a hard pack of snow on our metal roof, and we know it will slide off after the cabin has been heated for a couple of days. When it goes, it's like thunder. It roars, and the pole building that is our cabin tends to sway. It is a startling experience every time. The day is very leisurely as we watch the snow falling, ski a bit, and read by the fire.
December 27th. There is a severe storm warning out. It is hard to imagine when we are so snuggled into our little cabin that is already buried in snow. Dave has to go out and repack the snowmobile trail every day. The snow is coming down so fast that we'd be buried if we didn't keep it packed. I stomp the path to the outhouse, which is the cause of disdain among our city friends. Eyes widen with incredulity when I show a picture of a roof with a little throne underneath it surrounded by 5 feet of snow. No walls, it's open air, with a beautiful view of Strawberry Mountain.
December 28th. All night long, the wind roars around the cabin. Sometimes it whines and whistles. Other times it sounds like a train. Unusual since we are in a protected low spot that rarely experiences wind. We woke up to 4 more inches of snow, and it snows all day long. We dress warm and ski down to Maryland and Jim's to invite them to come ski the mile back to our cabin and have some hot chocolate, with possibly a teeny bit of schnapps.
December 29th, more snow. 4 days so far. Cross-country skiing is phenomenal. Fresh snow every hour. Today we meet a moose in our path. He watches us for a while and nibbles on some branches and ambles away. Later, we learn that about an hour prior to this, a new resident up here chased a moose into Norma and Diana's driveway on his snowmobile and followed it in. The packed trail ended. The moose panicked. He started getting aggressive, ears back, pawing the ground. Diana looked out the window and said, "Norm, get the camera. No, get the gun." New resident had gotten off his snowmobile, which was now between him and the moose. New resident and moose were jockeying for position. Finally, new resident was able to dash for the door and safety. Moose went on up to Norm's garden, which is where we encounter him, but he is at least friendly by now. New resident is now frightened and plans to carry a gun. I hope he remembers that we are in moose territory, not the other way around.
December 30. Still snowing. This is absolutely the perfect week to be here, loafing. It sounds like Spokane has come to a standstill, with many businesses closed. Here we woke up each morning to see the trees and cabin looking like they are 6 inches shorter because of the snow building up around them. This afternoon, 4 of us go for a backcountry ski. The snow is so deep that the person in the first position cannot stay there for long. It is too exhausting. But the beauty of the untouched wilderness keeps us going. It is interesting to walk off the pack trail without skis or snowshoes. Bonnie goes out to empty a pail of ashes from the stove and walks on the snowmobile trail. As soon as she heads off the trail, she is up to her waist in snow and can only walk about 5 feet before she is exhausted. So that is where the ashes are dumped. It would be easy to forget that without the right equipment, the beautiful country could become dangerous. One of the nicest parts of being here is the gift of time. There is no schedule. If we aren't thinking, if we are not skiing, we are reading. Bonnie is also working on a braided rug, which is now about 5 by 6 feet. This is an ongoing project and adds a cozy feel to the cabin and might get done in a couple of years.
January 2nd. Another year has passed and a new one begun. We ended 1992 by having several couples snowmobile over in the afternoon for snacks and beverages. Good humor is not in short supply up here, so we had our usual abundance of laughs. We have skied every day, snowshoed once, and watched the snow pile up. We have probably had at least 3 feet of snow since we first arrived. Here the snow is a gift that just makes things more beautiful. Today's snow is indescribable, sort of like ivory flakes. The flakes are huge and fluffy, and so light I am not even aware that I'm walking through them. It's almost like feathers. We don't want to leave. We haven't worn watches for a week, heard a telephone ring, or spent a nickel. This place is such a contrast to the real world. Maybe that's why we love it so much.